Okay, new week, huh? Here it is what I'm planning for you guys for this day, and guess what? You already know the drill. Here's a clip of Michael describing the plan. Thank you, Michael. So here's what I'm thinking about. I'm using Microsoft Paint again, as usual. Don't mind it. It helps me explain what I'm thinking better. As you probably know by now or not, that the widget for choices pops up correctly when I press E. But I haven't told you yet that when I press letter E in the keyboard, all the NPC that overlap with the player's box collision will show the widget choices, meaning it is not clear who is the player actually interacting with. And imagine if the NPC is stuck on one spot and the player's box collision is overlapping with it and spot. It will be a goddamn nightmare to handle. That's all there is to say to it. So here is the solution I'm thinking. Instead of using player's box collision component to trigger the pop-up, I'm gonna be using widget interaction component to know which kind of NPC owner it is overlapping with, yada yada. Basically finding what NPCs are we actually trying to interact with. And with that out of the way, back to you, Michael. So as Michael said earlier, we needed to implement that, and without any more further delay, let's get into it. So I just finished implementing it, and it took a while. Like, I keep having this problem about invisible widgets, and it is also can be interacted, and one that it is keep messing me up so much, man. But enough of that. Take a look at this final result. So let me click play real quick, and let's walk toward these NPCs. Now, for the right step to do this, I have to put my mouse near this NPC, and if I see this red dot appear on my mouse, I can finally click letter E on my keyboard, and it will show up, and it works only on this NPC, and it shows up the options about choices and not the other NPC. And with that basically working, I can finally say back to you, Michael. Okay, after this, I decided to change my code a bit. Here's another clip of Michael talking about the problem. Thank you, Michael. So here's the problem. I need to refactor a little bit and change my NPC interact widget code a bit, since each NPC is looking for the player, and if it finds that player, it shows up the interact widget. And I tell you, yeah, it works, but it's not very optimized, because it is also triggers when another actor, not the player, also overlap with this NPC collision component. So instead of all of that, I decided to make it rely on the player itself if it is close to the NPC, meaning it still works the same but a little more optimized than before. And with that out of the way, back to you, Michael. And finally, after this, I decided to mark each NPC spot for the scheduling part, right, for the scheduling code. And after the simulation, I have encountered another problem where all NPC gets stuck at one spot, but that is another problem for tomorrow to fix. And with that, peace out.